Hi, I'm Tassy from Sprout Home Brooklyn, and I'm just going to take you around the store today and show you some of the new things that we carry, plants and products and things like that. Some of the things that people really like for their apartments are really large, lush green plants, things that are really easy to maintain but that fill out a lot of space. And this one is really good. This is a philodendron psiloum, really low maintenance, just watering maybe a few times a month. And it just kind of continues to grow out. It'll probably grow another few feet taller and wider, so it's really good to put kind of like in a corner of a room to fill up a lot of green. So I would say like the biggest trend in New York and kind of all over the States this year are terrariums. And people really like to buy them as gifts or just to have like as a fun project to do. So this is, it's called a double bubble terrarium, and this one has a lot of cacti and succulents. So a lot of sun, very little water. I would say just like maybe a few times a month at the most for watering. And this one has some really cool like copper rocks and sea glass in it too. Everyone wants a terrarium and wants to build a terrarium. And we hold terrarium classes, usually a few times a month, and they fill, you know, they're full and within days. So it's definitely the biggest trend, and it's, you know, it's fun. So another thing in New York is people are really short on space. So, you know, they always want to try to do like hanging plants, either from the ceiling or from a wall or something. So these are great. They're called woolly pockets, and they just attach to your wall really easily, and then you can either plant directly in them or just kind of leave the plant in a plastic pot and set them in there. And it kind of adds like a nice dimension to the wall and doesn't take up too much space. So this is a really unusual, interesting plant that is really fun. It's called a staghorn fern, and it's mounted onto a piece of hardwood and sphagnum moss. So basically what you have to do is you have to take it down, soak it a couple times a week, let it dry out, and then put it back up. But it's almost like deer antlers or something, like hanging on a wall. These metal containers, they're made by a company called Planterworks. And it's great. They're actually located in Brooklyn, and they do all the production there. So they're really sturdy as well. So they're meant, it's hard to find good planters that you can leave out all year and you don't have to worry about them cracking. I mean, you don't want to ever do like terracotta or ceramic because they expand and contract and can break over the winter. So metal is great. These are all like a powder coated aluminum. So they're very lightweight, but they're also drilled out. They're meant to be planted directly into, and they're raised too. They have like little feet on them so that the water drains out, so you have no problem with drainage. This is kind of our perennial section, and we try to use a lot of native plants, and we also try to get a lot of plants that have a really nice scent and that also attract beneficial bugs and insects. So the echinacea is great. It has, you know, it blooms a little bit later in the season, so it's really colorful right now, but it also attracts butterflies, and it's drought tolerant, which is perfect for this time of year. I would say dill is probably one of the best ways to attract butterflies, because swallowtail butterflies will lay their eggs on the dill plant, and so you can watch the caterpillars. They're going to destroy the plant. They eat the entire thing, but it's really fun because you can then watch them as they kind of change into their various forms. So I think one of the biggest outdoor trends is herbs and vegetables, just edible plants that you can grow. You don't need a lot of space. You can do them in a container, or if you're lucky enough to have a yard, you can do raised beds and build them, build planting beds for, like, you know, basil, thyme, oregano, tomatoes, things like that.